Hey guys, I'm Ashley Godwin, class of 2013, and you're watching PA Live.
What's Bruin is presented by Crown Trophy of Little Rock, nationally known, locally owned. Visit them online at crowntrophy.com and be sure to thank them for supporting PA Live.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's Bruin. I'm Joshua Carroll, joined as always by Coach Kelley. Not as always, but for this week again. Thanks, Coach. And you coming off of an away streak, going to Nashville and then going all the way down to Shreveport. It's been fun, but I'm looking forward to staying in Little Rock. How about yourself?
Yeah, at least we get to stay in Little Rock the next couple of weeks, although we'll still be on the road. So, but we're in the midst of a long streak, and it gets to everybody, and I think it's but it's fun to see how the players respond.
No doubt. So how did they respond when they're on the road and then they're ready to come back home?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of, okay, a little exhale. They can relax a little bit because they know it's not loading up and staying the night in a hotel and all that kind of stuff. So I think they're looking forward to it, but I know they're more looking forward to coming back and playing at PA.
Considering the Evangel Christian game, a very impressive team. They have a historical record. It's as you look around the school, at least around the field, they listed every one of their championships, their state championships, and their, I think, one national championship.
Yeah.
It's just an impressive record that they had. What did it feel like coming into that environment last week? When
I first started coaching at PA, they were the national power. Now we hear about Bishop Gorman and St. John's and Don Bosco and those, but they were the national power, and they won a national championship. And it's a bigger deal maybe in high school than college, because in college there's 130 Division I teams. In high school there's 16,000.
Right.
So to win one of those is pretty cool, but that's what you walk in. To me, we started watching film on them before I'd been down there, and I kept seeing that on the scoreboard. Every time they show the scoreboard, that's intimidating.
Sure.
Because I know that's out of a lot of schools. And then go down there and they're like, 17 or 18 state championships on the board, a bazillion of the district. But then what I thought was really cool is behind us, which was intimidating too, they had a banner like you'd hang up in a gym of every NFL player they'd have.
Right.
The NFL player's name in the helmet of the Saints or the Rams or the Bengals or whoever they'd been to.
You got both the quarterback Moody brothers.
Yeah, and there were like 50 of them, and if we did that, we'd have two.
Right.
So that was pretty intimidating. Then down on the fence, all their Division I players of college, there were like 100 of those, and we'd have like 20. So, that's intimidating, but it's really cool, and I thought a cool way for them to celebrate their history, sure. And at the same time for you to walk in and know this is who we are. I thought that was pretty cool.
Evangel Christian last year was a 5A school. They dropped down to 4A this year in Louisiana. And from what I was told by one of the newspaper reporters that was there, he said it's actually the size of a 1 to 2A school. It's a very small campus.
Yeah.
And but they are very proud of their history, and rightly so. And I don't know how you all felt, but we couldn't have been made to feel more welcome.
Yeah.
It was, everyone from the fans to the staff, everyone was so inviting and welcoming to us. It was really great for us.
Yeah, and it was nice, and I hate to say a nice change, but we know how it is on the road sometimes. It seems like everybody there takes the attitude of the team like they're against you. When we try to be opposite here, very
sure.
welcoming and things like that, but they were. And even after the game, even after we had won the game, and they expected to beat us, I'm going to be honest. They're in the middle, they do like we do. They play a tough non-conference. They play Bastrop, Louisiana, who's a very good football team, very physical. Next week they play West Monroe, who is a storied, great team, and they're ranked 1, I think, in 6A in Louisiana. And then us in the middle, and after that game, they couldn't have been more appreciative of our kids and the show they put on. They're like, their coach is telling me, you guys are better than advertised, way more fun to watch. Hate it was against us, but and that's pretty cool to see that welcoming environment, like you said.
We had a couple of the fans ask us after the game, hey, do y'all broadcast every game? Because we want to catch the next one. So we filled them in there
That's
as well.
pretty cool.
Noticing one thing about the defense, a big turnaround from the week before. They only were able to allow 7 points in the first half of the game against Shreveport. What do you attribute that to?
A few things. The beginning of the season's tough. You can't simulate the speed of the game, in practice. You just can't. And played a very good Harbor team that, they scored 60-something on us, but everybody's going to score a little bit more because we get more possessions. You and I have talked about that a little bit. But since then, Harbor scored back-to-back 49-point games. So it's like, okay, they're pretty good, too.
Right.
And they're a big 7A school, and their offensive line is really, really good. And then against Ravenwood, most talented team I've ever played against, coached against, or anything in all my years. So they scored some points, too. But we made a couple of changes. Credit our coaches, Coach Thrash and Coach Wyatt and Coach Taylor. They put their heads together and said, hey, we got to try something different. Can't keep doing the same thing, expect a different result, which I wish some of the other coaches in our colleges in the state might think about doing a little bit. I hate to take that shot, but you can't keep doing the same things, expecting things to change.
Right.
Made some changes and some tough decisions they had to make, and then took a look at themselves and some of the things they were calling. Comes out, they call a great game. Our kids played extremely well against a very good football team that'll be in the Final Four of their classification. And if we can put that defense together and keep playing good offense, then we're a team to have to beat for the state championship.
The offensive line really picked it up this week, leaving a nice pocket so that the quarterback can kind of relax and find their targets. How important was that when you're rotating out Nolan Bruffett and Charlie Pfizer? Of course, Bratcher was out this week with an injury. So how important was that they were able to hold that pocket open for them?
It was the most important thing going into the game, probably. The way that we've centered our team around the quarterback and the offense and stuff, and it's just so important to block well for our starter. But when you've got a backup in, and the confidence is not really there for the team, not really there for the kid, he hasn't been in that moment before, and what a big moment to be in. And now with you guys broadcasting the game, they know everybody's seeing it. I mean, it's a bigger moment.
Sure.
And it's very stressful. And we challenged the kids and said, look, there's a game theory that for the first game that somebody's out, everybody can step it up for a game. And you play a little bit better. You have to focus a little bit more. You have to be a step quicker and make less mistakes to overcompensate for a starter being out. And with that starter, the way we play, it's a big player being out in Braden and what he's done the past couple weeks. So our kids stepped up to the challenge, and the linemen, we put it on them and really we always tell them we're as good as you take us. But when you've got a backup in there, and Charlie and Nolan, I think they stepped up and showed they were ready for the moment. And they were ready to take on the challenge. But without an offensive line, it's going to be way harder. And with the offensive line playing well, that makes it a whole lot easier. And they played extremely well. And we had Joe finally had a 100-yard game rushing, and we did a good job there. And but then the pass protection, they've got 3 defensive linemen that have college offers. So we weren't going against a run-of-the-mill team. They were going against another really good one. So I was really proud of the O-line. They stepped up, and they knew they had to, and they did it too. And so they took the pressure off of the quarterbacks, put it on themselves.
It's not a stat that you'll find in the record books, but do you think that having 12 receivers catch passes is a record for the team?
I don't know, but I didn't even know about that. But I know that we roll a lot of guys in there, and we have a lot of guys that can play. We do that because they run so much during the games. Down the field, we throw it so much. It's like a 40-yard sprint, 85, 90 times a game. And you never have them do that much in practice. So we've got, 8 or 9 guys that we roll in, and half that up. It's still a lot of running, but they have to be able to catch the ball, have to be able to run, and have to know our plan, and be able to adjust after the ball snap to the defense and things like that. And we've got guys that have bought into that and do it. And then I love seeing again, I think last time I was on, I talked about Miles Marotti, the kid that, the kid runs a 4.9. He's not the fastest kid in the world, but if you run our system well, you can still get open and know where you're going and what you're doing, and you'll catch the ball, you can play. And he did that, caught another long one early in that first quarter, and got us off to thinking, okay, we can do this. And people don't understand how much of a confidence deal that is. It's one thing if you've got a stud that's 6'6" that can go over everybody,
right.
But when you got a guy like a Miles, it's just a hard-working kid. He set the stage for us to do that, and that loosened it up for everybody. But we're proud to have that many guys that catch a ball in a game because the defense doesn't know who to take away.
Coach, before we switch gears to talk about the next week and the rest of the season, I'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Crown Trophy of Little Rock. If you haven't checked out Crown Trophy, visit their website at crowntrophy.com. You'll find that they actually sell much more than just trophies. They have drinkware, shirts, gifts of all types. Check it out online. Just open up crowntrophy.com. You'll find under locations Little Rock. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you want something that's going to be an award or maybe some type of swag that you want to give away for your company, they have that. They can cater to that as well. Go to crowntrophy.com today and support not only one of our PA fans, several of our PA alums, and make sure if you talk to them, make sure you tell Jenny thanks for supporting PA Live.
And I get all my stuff from Jenny.
Yeah.
And it's funny how far, and even if you're in the business world, how far a trophy will go just to say good job.
That's
hey,
right.
You were the best employee of the month. People love getting recognized, and she does a great job, and she's done it for me. And and some out of school stuff that I've got my own little business doing. She's done a lot of work for me, and people love it. They absolutely love it.
That's cool. Well, Coach, obviously we're coming back into the state for the rest of the season, and I know I'm relieved for that. Nice to get those.
I am too.
Yeah, nice to get those road games out of the way up front.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But now we've got the conference schedule that we're looking at.
What really matters.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we are really gauged on, right?
Yeah.
So looking toward this week, JA Fair. What are you thinking about this week's game?
I saw some highlights of them a couple weeks ago. They're a lot better than they have been, and they're merging in with McClellan and going to make one bigger school, and this is kind of their last hurrah. And I think these kids know that, and they want to leave a little better impression at the end.
Sure.
And then they played a lot better last week. They played a lot better than they have been, and the week before that they played better. So they're going to give us more of a challenge, and the kids are playing hard right now, and we've got to continue to improve every week. And so much of the time people focus on the other teams. I focus on us a lot more. So no matter who we're playing, I gauge on, did we get better? Did we really make less mistakes? Did we execute better in certain areas where we weren't before? And that's what we've got to do as the rest of the conference unfolds, because it's a very tough conference.
Sure.
And we've got some tough games ahead of us. So if you're not getting better every single week, then you're really leaving it in the opponent's hands more than your own hands on who's going to win the games, and we don't want to do that.
Looking around the rest of the conference, statewide, who do you think are the teams to watch this postseason?
And Harrison for sure. They played us in a big game last year, and they've got a lot of their guys, their main ball carriers, throwers, and receivers back, and some of their offensive line. I think that's a team to beat. Morrilton with the quarterback that was hurt, and he tore his ACL, came back, and I think the Razorbacks offered him, and some other people. That kid is like a mini Cam Newton. They're always going to be a team to watch. I think McClellan has shown the last 5 years that they're always going to be right in the mix. Texarkana made it to the semis last year, and then, of course, Little Rock Christian. Parkview's got a quarterback that's unbelievable that the Razorbacks have already offered to, and they've got a lot of great players. If they can finally put together that getting over the hump, that when they get in a big game, lose and make a couple mistakes, they're another team. But I think anybody would tell you it's going to be Harrison. Your top four are going to be Harrison, PA, Little Rock Christian, and then the other one is either Texarkana, Morrilton, somebody like that.
Maybe wild card.
Yeah.
Cool. Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate it, as always.
I love being on.
All right. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to hit like on this video and hit subscribe so you get notified every time we have a new content out there for you. In the meantime, I'm Joshua Carroll for Coach Kelley. Thanks for watching.